How's it going? This is Kevin, KMS Welding. You find me on Instagram at iwelderup. But anyways, I'm going to show you how to do a quick, well, not really quick, but how to fix this motor mount on this 04 Harley Davidson. These things are pretty known for breaking the motor mounts off. These guys do wheelies and all that. Pretty cool. But this is it. Hopefully you can see what's broken in there. It's pretty common. Most of the time you take them out of the bike to fix it, but I've done several now in the bike and always have good luck. So I'm going to walk you through what it takes to fix it in the bike. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so the first thing I do is I got to get all the paint off the piece, put a little weld prep on it. For that I use a right angle grinder and a flap wheel, and just prep it up. I'll show you how that goes. Alright, so we got the piece all prepped up. We'll see if you can see what I did here. I took the piece off. This has got the most meat on it on this side, so I go right to it. Aluminum penetrates really well, and this stuff actually welds really well for being cast. The other side, I don't go as deep, so I know it's going to get into that whole bore, and we'll have to mess with that. It's hard to do on the bike. And the rest of it here, I'll just wire wheel all that and go prep the motor. Alright, to clean up the engine side of the thing, I'm going to use a straight die grinder with a burr bit on there. I like to use a little bit of an older burr on aluminum. Find one that's kind of beat up already. And I like to use, sometimes I don't even use the rounded tip. I like them flat. You can hold it flat and just keep it from bouncing on you. And that's all. So now I'm going to hit this to get out. I just want to get the paint off of it around the area. We're going to add some gussets in here too, so it's a little more work on this side. But that's it. I do the biggest weld prep on the piece that broke off rather than the engine, just because it's easier to work. So I'll put a larger weld prep on this, just a small one on the engine. And then the critical thing about the engine welding is you don't want to get it too hot. You got a gasket in between the two seals, so it's really tempting to go right at it because it welds the best when it's hot. And it'll mess you up every time. I've done a few and had one leaker, so I still don't know why. It's just the nature of the beast. It was on the newer of the bikes I've done. Maybe they changed the gasket. I don't know. But we'll get this cleaned up, get it rolling. One more thing. This is a bummer. My air compressor crapped out on me, so now I got to use it. Got to use the truck machine, so it's got an air compressor in it, so it's going to be a little bit loud. But maybe I can get fancy and, I don't know, edit that part out. I don't know how to do these. But here you go. Using a Miller air pack. A little cold-blooded. Come on. Alright, now we got the engine side all cleaned up. Let me show you what we got. Hopefully you can see in there. It's just basically taking the paint off it, putting a small weld prep on that side. It looks like you can't see shit, but that's all we're doing there. And now the other piece is prepped. Now we will attach the broken piece. Okay, so the way this one broke, it was like 3/4 of the hole. So there was a little bit left. There was more than normal. Normally, I take a flat plate and I bolt it from here to here to ensure that this one is level with that one. But in this case, it's mostly flush. So I can just put some spacers on, lightly bolt it. And then I'll weld what I can. I'll weld this whole thing, let it cool. Actually, I'll tack it. Do this side first, probably. Do the inside. Tack it, and then I can remove all this stuff. That way it stays flush with the bottom. That's the most important thing. All right. For the welding machine, I'm using a Miller DX Dynasty 200. I do have a helium mix with the argon. It helps with the heat. That should do it. We'll get to it. Let's get to tacking. Alright, I'm using 1/16 53/56 aluminum wire. I know that'll stir some people up there. I know there's stronger aluminum wires out there, but this welds the case better than anything I've ever tried. So feel free to do it any way you want to do it. This is how I do it and had great luck with it. So first thing we're going to do, put a couple tacks here just to hold it. We'll go along and weld the other side. Using a wireless foot pedal. There's other better ways. A button controller on there or something. I have one of those. I just don't feel like hooking it up. Someday a bike lift would be nice. A little lefty on this one. We have to get rid of that long back gap. Anytime you weld something like this, it's been around oil and all that, aluminum cast, sucks it right out, gets right in there, it turns black. Get a look at it here. You can see. Sorry about that. Yeah, that top tack's pretty black. The bottom one's not so bad. Then we'll do the inside. See if we can get a good feel for it. Some of this out here I'll lay right down and just use my leg or something to operate the pedal so you get an idea of what's happening. That's this side here. Alright, now we're going to get that bolt out of there because it's not going to move anymore from here on out. So I will take the bolt out hit it with a wire wheel, and then let it chill just a little bit. Then we'll weld out one side, let it chill, weld the other. We'll get right after it. Alright, now that we get it somewhat welded out, we will just let it break, let it chill, take a break, and sit down. Ooh, we feed the turkeys. Come on. Come on. It's one of my pastimes. Go on up here. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Let it girl. Here. Little brat. She's crazy. Alright, we'll get back to it. Now what am I doing here? Alright, now we get the first pass on. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up. I put a little end brush on here. We'll clean it up. It's pretty black and sooty with the first pass. And then we'll lay another pass over it. And on this side, we're going to grind it flush, because on this side of the case, I am going to put a big flat plate that covers the whole area. It really strengthens it up. It's where you get most of your strength from on this repair. If I was just to leave it like that, they break again. So I've done it. Alright, so now we'll strengthen it up, and we'll wire wheel it, re-weld it. I'll let you see how that goes, and then I'll show you how I go about cutting that plate, fitting that on there. Here we go. Alright, now we got it all welded out and prepped up. I'll show you what it looks like now. It's not so pretty because we still have to, this area here, get that light out of there. This area is going to have a plate on it all the way around here. So you don't have to get too fancy with it. Just flush it out. I'll dress all that up later. And that's it for now. So because both sides of that is going to have a gusset. So now I'll show you how I cut the gusset. Not much to it. Alright. So for the gussets, my favorite thing is I start off with any template I make in. I love vanilla folders here. It's my favorite material to use for that. It's pretty straightforward. Hold it on there, trace it out, cut it out. What I do too is I'll take it, I'll place it right where I want it, like that, and then you just press on that edge. I don't know how good you can see it, but it shows up there, and then it's a good starting point. Start cutting from there. It usually gets you pretty close right off the bat. Yeah, see? That's pretty good. Now I'm just going to round that top off. I don't like square edges on my templates. Like that. See, so that fits on there just covers that whole area and the 45, and it gets to where it was cracked before, strengthens it up. We're just going to use 3/16 aluminum and get that cut out and tacked on. Alright, we got the piece all cut up. Nothing to it, simple, just a simple piece. But, put it right there. We'll tack it in place and weld it out. Alright, we've got the little plate welded on. It's not the prettiest thing, but there it is. It's a hard spot to get to. So now, I think I'm going to put a plate, a bigger gusset, on the other side, a big one. So let's get to doing that. Same process. Alright, so now that we got the piece cut, this one's a little thicker. It's 1/2 inch aluminum. I already cut it, molded it to fit. And the thing I do with these, this one, see, I don't know if you can see, it fits right in there like that. Okay. The thing I do with these is because it's so thick, I just preheat this piece, not on the machine. Preheat it in the vise. I'll bring it over, I'll heat it up with the torch, and then I'll put it on the machine just to keep the heat off the motor itself. We don't want to get the engine too hot because of that seal in between the cases. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, now we got that piece welded on. Well, we got it preheated. Now we're going to weld it up. Look at this shit. Guys, I'm trying to work here. Huh? Yeah. Alright, so there it is. Clamped into position right there. See it? So now we'll weld it up. What do you guys want? That's Jake and Petunia. Holy smokes. Oh, you're a crazy girl. Alright. He's actually a boy, I think. Alright, so let's get this welded on. What the heck? Ducks and turkeys. Man, just shitting right there where I'm working. Alright, get out of here. Hey, sorry about the halftime show. Alright, let's go about getting this piece welded and wrap this thing up. Trying to work in here, dude. Look at this. Shitting in my... God damn it. You guys let me work? Ugh. What are you doing? You helping? Huh? You ain't helping. at this shit. Working in a zoo. Okay, we got one side of that welded. Let's see. We'll do that. We'll let it cool. Clean it up with a wire brush. Hit the inside, which is the hard part. Get it the best you can. And then that's it. Okay, now we got it all welded up. I just got to get in the corner, clean it up. I'm going to use this little ball end carbide. Again, it's a used one. They don't really like aluminum too much, so I hate to use brand new ones. All right, just going to get in the corners there and clean it up. I'm going to reassemble. More help. What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, bud? Okay. Let go. Hey, hey, hey.
It's gonna rip it.
All right. Okay, we got it all welded out. I got a little bit of dressing to do on the bottom of the bracket so the motor mount fits tight, and show you what we got. That's it. So the customer only chose to do a gusset on one side, so it should be all right. I got this plated on both sides, so all right. Clean it up, paint it up, put it back together. All right, it's all cleaned up, roughly sanded. I'm not really prepping this one crazy. We got some textured black Harley engine paint. We'll get that on there. Get her back together. All right, well, we got it all buttoned up. Let's see how it looks. I don't know how good you can see it with this, but you can't see it for shit. But anyway, that's how you do broken engine mounts on a Harley in the bike. Hope that helps you somewhat. All right.